Welcome once again to the Almost Aussie podcast with Oleg and Dylan.
Howdy, howdy.
And yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to episode 19.
It's been legal for a year.
It's coming of age.
Get it? Coming?
No, I don't. But yeah. Yeah. So
I tried.
We've been talking about like the whole yeah, okay.
Thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
Sort of. I'll try better next time.
Yeah. Just do the whole can.
Be better, Dylan.
Just be better. Yeah, we've been talking about the whole death rates in Australia for COVID compared to the rest of the world. I've been saying how in America there's like 350 million people and there's been recorded of 600,000 deaths that were attributed to COVID. And, you know, with that comes its own like...
Attributed to?
Yeah. But in Australia, there is it 25 million people? And...
There's 900, 600 deaths.
910 deaths in Australia. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I mean, the percentage is shocking considering the population. And people are criticizing our government for it. That is... You know, there's a concept of... Fuck, I literally forgot the name. It had such a cool name. But it's like if you expect the worst of someone, they will deliver you the worst.
Self-fulfilling prophecy?
No, but there's an actual like term for it. I just can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's basically that concept. Okay. There's like a scientific term basically.
Okay.
But yeah, and you know, if you expect our politicians to be shit and you're always like harassing them on social media and you're always like shunning them and shit like that, well, what's the incentive for them to do better if the country already hates them? It's like, fuck. Yeah. No, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I guess if they're loved, they would feel more of a need to serve the people that love them and keep fulfilling those expectations.
Yeah. They'll be...
But when they're hated, they're like, oh, they're going to hate me anyways. I'll just do what's best, what I think's best. Because even if I do what's best for them, they're still going to fucking hate me.
Exactly. They're going to call conspiracy theories and shit. But yeah, basically that concept came from, they did a study on like school kids, like young kids. And they told the teacher, just encourage this kid to do better. And then just like disregard this kid or whatever. Which is kind of like a shitty study. Like a cruel study in a way, yeah.
I don't think so.
Basically, when the teacher started paying attention to the low-performing student and saying, like, I believe you can do better, I know you can do better, they actually started doing better.
Yeah.
Like, they're legitimate trials to figure this out. Why we don't apply this for the rest of the world? Don't know.
Did you get punched?
No, I didn't get punched. No, it's like a, I don't know, pimple or something. Dude, do you know cockroaches eat flesh?
Eat flesh?
Yeah. Oh, that's probably from me not sleeping.
No, it's like a sideways bruise.
Yeah, probably not sleeping. Or maybe it's the lighting. It's very unflattering. Yeah, cockroaches fucking eat flesh, man. It's not good. They actually bite you and it gets infected. And that infection grows into like a diseased foot or whatever.
Gangrene.
Yeah, it's not good.
Shit,
It's
son.
not good, man. Cockroaches are the real deal, man. They're the real deal. I'll put this close a little bit too.
All right. I'll take the microphone. Hello, Blue. I like you.
For some reason...
What can you do? Not a poo.
What's that? Nice, man. No. At least you make yourself laugh.
I am good at that.
What is going on? I'm not sure if this is just messing with me. No, it should be sweet. Okay. Okay. Back to the whole COVID thing. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Madagascar, man. What the fuck?
It's got like, 28 million people?
I was surprised to hear Madagascar even had 28 million people.
Yeah. That's a small place. I don't know. I don't even know how big Madagascar is.
Australia's a big place with a tiny population, and Madagascar is a tiny place with a big population.
Yeah. Yeah, that's strange. I mean, we could take on some... No, we can't.
I mean, we definitely...
Borders are closed.
Yeah.
No. None of this.
Our borders were closed before, but now they're really closed.
Now they're really closed, yeah.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon is coming? Do you think there's more legal or illegal immigrants coming into Australia this year? Do you think they still got like hard border patrol going on? And because like you don't hear about the asylum seeker boats coming through anymore.
No.
And say for example from Afghanistan, you know, or Syria, like we always had refugees seeking asylum here illegally, and you'd hear about a boat of 40 fucking people who were taken to Nauru every other week.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
But
don't hear anything about it.
Yeah, have they just have like criminals stopped importing humans? I don't think. I doubt it. Like, especially because it wasn't legal in the first place. And they had to work their way around radars and everything anyway.
Yeah. Fuck, do you know how they get around the radars to like they wrap their boats in aluminium foil?
Huh.
It actually like doesn't show on the radar.
Makes sense, yeah.
And they pretty much like go out to sea until they see usually it's like Christian missionary boats that rescue fucking people that are like asylum seeking. So they just like fly out to sea hoping that they will either reach land or like a Christian missionary boat picks them up.
Damn.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot to say against like the bad things about religions, but the Christian missionaries are doing a lot of incredible shit, man.
Yeah, man. My family of missionaries have been in like Laos and Papua New Guinea and all over the world their entire lives. Like my mum is the only one of her siblings, I'm pretty sure. Like my family, do not quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure my mum's the only one who hasn't done like mission work in her life.
Yeah, wow.
9 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Actually, I think she has. I'm pretty sure she even did. She went to, pretty sure she did Brazil at one point. Did Rio, where she was born, and she went and did a trip there.
Your mum was born in Rio?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because her parents were missionaries, and they were in Brazil when, like, she was born on a mission.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I mean, that was a successful mission by the sound of it. Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was listening to Jordan Peterson's podcast, and there's a young lady, I think she's like 27 or 28, maybe even younger. Her name is Yomni Park. So she was born in North Korea, and then she escaped with her mother when she was like 13. And she talks about her whole journey of like living there, growing up in North Korea, then escaping, and then the only way to go from North Korea to anywhere else is through China, and that's like if you're a female, you're going straight into the sex trade, like illegal sex trade. So she at like 13 years old, she was in the illegal sex trade.
What?
Yeah, and she goes into a fucking crazy story, man. Like,
damn.
Incredible story. And basically one of the people, like the group that helped her out of China and into South Korea were Christian missionaries. Like they forced her to obviously learn the Bible and to take on Christianity, and basically said like, if you're not Christian, then we're not going to take you. But on the other hand, you know, it sounds cruel, but on the other hand,
you can just pretend for a minute.
Yeah. Well, she has this whole fucking weird thing about like how people throughout her life always wanted to pretend to be something she's not to get through life.
Right.
So I mean, it sounds easy, but the way she like puts it, it's anyway, so on the one hand, they wanted her to pretend to be that, and I'm sure they know that she's not just going to pick up Christianity just like that. But on the other hand, these missionaries are literally putting their lives at risk because they're going to get executed. Like if anyone finds out who they actually are helping these people to get out of the illegal sex trade. Yeah. So man, these people are doing some really, really crazy work.
Yeah, man. My I'm actually not even going to say the names on here because I'm pretty sure they're still over there in Laos, like little villages with rice farms and everything like that, and they're just bringing the word of God illegally. Yeah, like they're holding illegal Bible studies.
That's a weird concept. Hey, like the whole like missionary thing is actually illegal in a lot of like Eastern. Like
some
places.
People break the law to make money. Others people do it to spread the word of God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Hey, that's a whole other mission. Dude, this one time, I think it was like a month or two ago, was at a delivery. I dropped off the pizza, hop back into my car. I see this like big Kiwi dude like briskly walking up to my car. It was like maybe 8 o'clock at night. And he's like smiling, he's like showing me his hands.
He pulls out a gun.
Yeah. Comes up to my window. It's like, hey bro, I just wanted to tell you, man,
I'm gonna friendly rob you. Here's $1,000 and
yeah, I'm gonna reverse rob you.
Yeah.
No. He was like, hey bro, I just wanted to come and tell you, man, that Jesus loves you. No matter what kind of shit you went through, like no matter like what kind of family problems you have, doesn't matter, man, Jesus loves you. I just want to tell you that. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Thank you so much. That made my night so much better. I'm not Christian. I didn't convert because of that or anything. No. But just the
idea that someone that far back knew you existed and might love you. Feels good, right? Feels significant.
That wasn't the point I was making. I'm not sure you're fucking with me or not.
I had to.
Okay.
I had
to. No. It's nice that some random person just like comes up and like tries to give you like a positive message.
Yeah.
You know,
it's their compliment.
Yeah. And if religion like pretty much like guided them to do that, well, it made my night better.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's fucking I drink to that. That's fucking great.
I barely had any bad experiences with religion personally. Like I grew up at a church, man. Like I grew up in the church. Like we had youth group on Fridays, Sunday school on Sundays. Sometimes we'd even go to the Sunday night service. And the church that we were with, the Southport Church of Christ, I ended up, finding that a religion is not for me. And
that's a big takeaway from
it's like I ended up finding at the end of the day, but like the entire time no one was ever trying to shove it down my throat or anything else down my throat either. So it's a pretty good church, right?
Hey, like
there's not many churches that don't try to shove something down your throat from what I hear.
Yeah.
From what I hear, at least, mainstream media might be giving churches a bad name.
I mean, yeah, but there's also bad things that happen in churches as well.
Very moderate, very normal people. Like the craziest thing that ever happened to me there was like one of the deacons of the church. I tipped a whole bucket of mud on his head at church camp one day, and he chased me down, pinned me to the ground, and like looked my mum and dad in the eyes and said, "I'm gonna break both his arms and fucking legs." And
wow.
Then I blacked out and got violent, and afterwards everything was sweet.
Hey, man.
I came back into consciousness on top of him, and I was like,
Hashtag.
You getting raped by a kid.
Hashtag still nothing down my throat.
Still nothing, still not gargling.
Still not gargling. I grew up, because in Ukraine we were pretty much...
Oh yeah, by the way, for the record, just quickly, Southport Church of Christ actually removed that guy as a deacon of the church after that, because that was, everyone saw that.
Yeah.
And even though it was a rivalry between him and I that had been like building up for months, they still didn't see it as a way that somebody who's representing their faith should act. So they took him away.
An adult shouldn't act like that, period.
He snapped.
Yeah,
he snapped.
Yeah.
Poor cunt.
Yeah. So in Ukraine, we got baptized Christian Orthodox. But then when I moved to Switzerland, my step grandmother took me to like Sunday school and like church and shit like that. And then even coming here, man, we both went to Hillcrest Christian College. Yeah. And that was interesting, but it never like stuck.
Yeah.
I feel like there were too many guidelines to restrict your potential to who you can be.
Yeah.
Like you have to live a certain way to like please a certain thought process.
Yeah.
Which I know some people that don't have any discipline in their life might benefit from this.
Yeah, that's why it's so often that people come out of prison with a new
I was about religion. To say that. Yeah. And that's great. That's fucking. That's a good thing.
More power to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Religion's always been great for keeping humans in line, and that's a very, I guess, raw, almost nihilistic way to look at it.
Yeah, because it's done some pretty horrific things to keep people in line.
Yeah.
Throughout history, yeah.
But in like a moderate form. It's the closest thing. It's like, say, imagine if everyone followed the same religion. most wars would not happen.
You think so?
I think that there would be too much, like, pass the ball of religious correctness between nations, and we might see like trade wars and stuff like that.
Because there's so many,
and then they'd split off into their different sects, and
exactly. I was about to say.
So
there's so many different Christian like religions, so many different ones.
It's kind of what I'm leading on to when it comes to this fact that, like, yes, it keeps people in line, but each different sect of each different religion has their own way of keeping people in line.
Yeah.
And they compete against each other for that.
Mm-hmm. And they always compete about which way is better.
Yeah, and when it comes to better, and no one thing is the best for anyone, then you're just going to cause fights.
Yeah, but it's also funny because they see it as like, if you don't live life this way, then you are a hedonist. Like, all you live for is sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, so what? Why does that how does that harm you? Like,
but they don't even take into account all the other ways people can live without, sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Adrenaline.
Well,
go skydiving, base jumping, hiking, endurance, pain. Fuck's sake, go walk 96 kilometers without sleeping.
But I'm just talking about, like, you can just live a normal life without having to, like, be an excessive... Oh, it's going to be really loud on the fucking... Yeah.
Thought that'd look funny, though.
Yeah, okay.
Man. Better than stacking them. Yeah. Dylan's got a different feature every time. It's like throw the cans behind the camera and stack them.
Oh, I don't know, man. We don't want to, like, flash... Oh, no, don't throw them because you just fucking... jizzed all over my laptop.
Not yet, I didn't.
Yeah, with your can you did.
For that.
Yeah, I'd appreciate if you didn't do that while there's recording equipment here.
Right.
Yeah, religion's I like the Buddhist mentality where they say if you see Buddha walking on the side of the road, kill him. Have you heard of that before?
You've said it before.
Probably.
Every time you say it, I'm like, whoa. That's abrupt, and I completely forgot what it meant.
Yeah,
It's so abrupt that the meaning got lost in the abruptness.
Yeah. It's an interesting saying because that's like a Buddhist saying that, like, if you see... that's better. That's fine. The whole concept of, like, if you see, like, a prophet on the side of the road that's trying to enforce his kind of, like, perspective on you, the Buddha, then, like, obviously don't physically kill him.
I wouldn't call him a Buddha.
Huh?
I wouldn't call him a Buddha.
Yeah, but that's usually what it means, because, like...
I'd call him a false prophet. Was Buddha a false prophet?
I mean, he was a
Did he say
prophet.
he was a prophet?
No, but...
Or did he just give a way of peace and oneness?
Well, see... He wasn't a false prophet because he is literally the basis of what it was founded on, right?
Yeah.
So he was the first, so to say.
But he's not a god.
No. He is like...
And he doesn't claim any god or allegiance to any god except...
He is the ideal form of an enlightened being that we can all reach for. Same with Jesus. Yeah. It's like Buddha and Jesus Muhammad. Share a lot. They all share so many, like, archetypical properties. They're basically the Superman of fucking 0, like 180 kind of thing. Like, they're this mythical being that people aspire to be like because they were the fucking superhero back then. Like this mythical creature kind of thing. And now we have all these superheroes. It's the same thing. We're all just telling different stories. And it's pretty wild because, the Bible, it was the most killed over book in the history.
As in?
Like, it's the most bloodshed has been over
in the
Bible.
Yeah.
Over a book.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, it's a book.
I thought you meant in the book, like the stories being told.
No. Back before in the Dark Ages. There were the Dark Ages because only the church knew how to, like, read and write. And only they knew how to read the Bible, and they only had the Bible. But when they started making copy and spread, and other people started getting their hands on it and trying to, like, interpret it their own way, and, like, started to get their own message out of it, the church started going around and literally murdering people if they found a copy of a Bible in their homes. Those are the Dark Ages.
Okay.
Like, and like the Christian Crusades, like all of this.
Well, it's called the Dark Ages because the Christians ended up winning. If they didn't end up winning, it would have been called the Age of Enlightenment.
No, that's way different too. Age of Enlightenment is actually referred to. Oh no, it's the Renaissance. Yeah, it's actually referred to humans figuring out the basic human rights that people should have.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what it refers to. Like, to think that people had to figure it out on a like grand scheme that every person's life matters and they all should have the basic right to like be like to work for food and to be like free in quotation marks.
That's surprising to me. Humans are naturally self-centered, and it would take a push for consciousness to identify anything outside of itself. Like, if we're looking at the evolution of consciousness,
No, because humans we're self-centered now because of enlightenment, I think, because of the Age of Enlightenment, because all of us think we have the right to be a free person, do whatever we want to do, have the freedom of speech. Before that, humans had to act in a way that benefits their tribe, right? Like, designated people had to hunt. Designated people had to do other things around, like gather. Designated people had to look after other people.
Shaman.
Yeah. And it all had to be a tiny community, because if one person goes and does their own thing, and then all of a sudden they just invite like a wrong person into the tribe, or they lure back a predator and like their tribe get decimated, they can't do that. They get cast out because they're not living for the good of their community. It's only now that we have this like self-centered perspective of like, I have these rights and I should be able to buy a house because my parents could buy a house, but now inflation and blah, blah, blah.
So
and I
some
can't
people
money.
that are like
that. But you can find your own like little aspect of what you feel like you should be able to do in your own life because you think you have the right for it. Yeah. That's Sebastian Junger. He released a book called Freedom, and he actually tackles all of that. He compares what the American frontier was back when it was first settled, and to his own journey. He like walked the railroads of America with like two of his friends, and to like how society functions. And he talks about that like people have a misconception of freedom. Freedom isn't being able to do, like, this freedom that we have right now is because of these societal rules that keep us working together so that we can afford to sit around and like fucking make TikTok videos, scrolling Facebook, fucking take Insta pictures. You know, that is because we have so many like good rules in our society. So freedom isn't, you know, going out into the fucking forest and living off the land. You won't be able to do that. You'll probably survive. But
not most people.
Yeah, not most people. No, not at all.
They'll lie to a run out and they'll be like, oh, fuck, how do I make a fire?
Yeah, exactly. But then again, there's like, we'll circle back to the COVID thing, but there's this whole I
want to touch on the Bible's bloodshed quickly.
Yeah, go.
Zaza, like that. You know, there's a kill count for God in the Bible.
What? A kill count?
Yeah, bro. One of the craziest stories.
How many headshots?
I can't remember how many he killed, but I remember it is a significant number of people in the Bible that God himself killed, including 42 children.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that the thing where Joe Rogan brings it up in his podcast all the time, where it's like these like bunch of kids were paying out
the blind man,
the blind or the bald man,
blind,
yeah. So they're pretty much
throwing rocks at him and shit.
Yeah, and they were saying go up, bold, anything. So he prayed to God, and then God sent 2 she bears to like kill the kids.
Yeah, they sent bears to tear them to shreds.
Yeah, okay.
God's got a pretty serious kill count in the Bible for like a all-loving being.
Yeah.
It's pretty savage.
I mean, the best part is like, some meme was like, yeah, do what I say so that you can protect yourself from me. That sounds,
And my wrath.
Yeah.
Do what I say, otherwise you're going to burn for eternity.
Dude, that's You know that the concept of hell wasn't until like the New Testament.
Yeah, dude, the concept of hell is so broken. And what I loved about the show Lucifer is that it really embodied what I'd actually imagine hell to be. Like hell would, like the concept of hell is things that you have done in your life that you do not agree with, that were against your better nature, that you have to forgive yourself for, otherwise you feel like you need to be punished.
Yep. You know, and you see, that's beautiful because Jordan Peterson talks about like you have to burn off your dead wood. Like you're a person and you know all these things, and then you think you know the right thing, and then you think you know how to behave yourself, but like sometimes people don't like you, and if a lot of people don't like you, maybe it's you, maybe it's not them.
Maybe so it's you Maybelline.
Maybe it is real butter. And then so you have to burn off the dead bark so that like your tree can basically grow. And then you know the Victorian like 1700 poet William Blake, that I have the tattoo based on his quote, but in his he took this stance on pretty much religion and Christianity, and he basically wrote this little pamphlet. It's called The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. And in that, he talks about how the fire of hell is much like we use it in medicine to sanitize the equipment, to burn away all the disease. So he talks about it as like this cleansing force that burns off all of the bad like things around your soul and like liberates you to becoming free.
Beautiful. Have you seen season 5 of Lucifer?
Yeah, I've watched all that.
Do you remember in the last episode how the guy, he runs into the guy and you know how Lucifer goes to heaven?
No, I haven't seen.
You haven't finished it?
No, because they released those other 2 episodes recently, right?
No, they've done the whole season.
The last episode I remember is when they first see God, when they're fighting in the office and God comes down. That's when the original season ended.
No, bro. There's a whole season 5 now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's like 10, 12 new episodes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I definitely need to watch
that.
Fuck! Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try and do this without spoiler alert.
No, you can't. I think we're
No, Lucifer. No, so in heaven.
Fuck,
don't
this
ask.
Might be a spoiler.
No. Don't ask why Lucifer went to heaven or how he got there or anything. I think it's understandable. But he went to heaven and he ran into this guy, and some guy helps him in heaven. Now, he recognizes this guy because when Lucifer went back down to hell a couple seasons ago, he was in this guy's hell, or like he took him to that. So
was that the guy in the boat?
Yeah.
That kept getting like killed, and then Lucifer was talking to him. Okay.
Yeah. So this guy, Lucifer gets to heaven.
Yeah.
And Lucifer crash lands in heaven because he can't be there. He's banned. Like he turns into fucking ash.
Yeah.
And he just sacrificed himself to anyway. And he goes, Lucifer looks at this guy. He's like, I thought you were in hell. And he's like, nah, man, you told me that if I forgive myself for all this stuff, I'll get to heaven, and that's what I did. And Lucifer looks at him like, yes, bro. He's like, yes, bro. Good fucking work. You forgave yourself. You burnt off all that self-resentment that made you feel like you needed to be there.
Yeah. But that's literally a metaphor for life.
Right.
That's, you have to forgive yourself. Fucking in the Bible, it says the kingdom of God is within. Like, it's within you. It's within each of us. It doesn't say it's up in the heavens. It's like literally in you.
Yeah.
Like we all create our personal hell, our own personal heaven.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, really, it just makes me so sad to think that the whole time all these religions were just talking about earth life. And like the religion was a metaphor for a good way to live earth life, and it was never about the afterlife. And now it's back to ground zero. Like, what comes next?
My question is, what comes after veganism? Like, what comes after you can't eat plants anymore? That's the question. Because I think at one point, you've heard me talking about like the whole Rene Descartes thing.
I reckon stem cell food. So not just stem cell meat, but they're gonna like.
You have to farm humans for that, though.
They're gonna take little like, they're gonna sequence little DNA strands out of plants and shit, and then just put them in like little quantum boxes and fast forward their development. So it's like stem cell fucking...
Yeah.
Stem cell plants, because plants have feelings too. Real plants.
No, they do.
But if you're cloning something, does it have the same feeling? No. But it's like, it's just the next level down of that argument.
Yeah. Well, it's like those scientists that are literally growing meat.
Yeah, that's what I got it off.
Piece of meat. Yeah, exactly.
That's launching in Australia this year.
What?
Yeah, the first one's lamb.
There's no way it's ahead enough.
No. It's no, seriously. It's not going to be a regular like a normal thing. But I've been looking, because I did that month vegetarian through Mediocre May, and I was just looking for loopholes. So I got really into looking into stem cell meat and everything. And they actually have there's a startup in Melbourne at the moment, Victoria or South Australia, either or. And they've just launched so they're launching their first brand of stem cell cat food because of, so there's
Is it gonna fuck the pussy? Sorry. Yeah. No.
There's regulations with the it's not the FDA, it's the fucking, in Australia, what is it? It's the TGA. No, that's therapeutic goods. Whatever the Food and Drug Administration is in Australia, even in the States.
So they get approved for it?
No, it's not approved for humans. So they're bringing the product out for animals first because like it doesn't meet any criteria for food yet. Yeah. That they don't have the right lawyers yet or whatever to outline why it is still meat. Like there's still ground to be covered, but it's ready to go. Like that is ready to go. It's just regulatory restrictions now.
It's going to be like the whole like hemp foods where people were selling like hemp soap, but then we're like, no, but you can actually eat it because like hemp chocolate kind of thing. Yeah. There's cat food.
Buy your own hemp seed oil, but it's like not for human consumption.
Yeah, but like wink, it is.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Shit, you know what we should do? We should get in contact with that genetically engineered meat company and be like, so hey, cool. What we should do? We should make cat food. And be like, not for humans, wink, wink.
Yeah, get on this podcast. We'll get you 10 whole views.
Yeah. No, but it's the first one is lamb. Yeah, it's they've taken stem cells from a lamb, like a classic Aussie breed of lamb, and they've recreated that, and the first product's going to be for cats. But stem cell meat is well and truly on the way, and I've asked a couple of my plant-based friends whether they would eat it or not, and it always like. I've not once got a certain answer. Yeah. Because that is not killing an animal. The animal got a bit of its DNA taken out. Yeah. And then it's still roaming freely while you're eating its meat babies. Like, pretty wild, man.
While you're eating its meat babies.
Yeah, dude. Because all they do, they take stem cells out of that shit and they just make it start developing.
That's like what I call this episode. Eating meat babies.
Eating meat babies.
Yeah.
Sounds really Catholic of you.
Well, nice. Hashtag don't swallow.
Gargle.
Yeah, no, fuck, I don't know, would you eat it? Yeah?
Absolutely.
I don't know, man.
Abso-fucking-lutely, bro. That's like science and nature colliding in such a beautiful way where they just like, it's kind of like,
Hey, man. The most beautiful way of how science and nature collides is called birth control.
Take away the control, I think it's birth.
But that has nothing to do with science.
Yeah, but to be totally honest, birth control, I'm a big fan of it. Fucks chicks up, man.
That is true.
Like, the hormones get out of whack and heaps of people. And I'd love to say that it's like, I'd love to be gender inclusive here and be like, heaps of girls and guys have suffered from this, but there's no guys that have taken the birth control pills. But all I've heard is like,
yeah, well,
negative things.
It basically, there's been studies where it actually disrupts the females. Well, yeah, like, sure, yeah, obviously, but it disrupts the female's like pheromone senses, so she's attracted to guys she normally wouldn't be attracted to.
Right.
Yeah. So that happens, but also, like, you probably save a couple of $1 million to not have a kid. So that's always a benefit. But like, dude,
you see, birth control is a Western. I mean, no, so child support's a Western construct.
Yeah, you're an Australian motherfucker. No, but like, if there was a guy version of birth control that has been tested for as long as the female version,
yeah,
right?
There hasn't been, but there is one that started. I think phase 3 trials last year.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah, it's not fully approved yet, but it's in stage 3, I believe. If we had a Jamie here to Google this shit,
dude, if guys would get pregnant, we would have had this shit locked down like fucking decades ago. Like, we would have had the latest science in like condom technology to be like holographic sperm catchers that like double as a cock ring that project this like laser webbing to disintegrate the semen before it like propels into the uterus. Like, that's how good the science would be if guys get pregnant.
Dog, that's some shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Just imagine that in my head, and I'm like, damn, I wish guys got pregnant.
It's like heat-seeking, like tiny heat-seeking missiles. It's like,
and then there's like an iron dome around your dick. You're like, your dick's like a mini Israel.
It's like, those super high-tech airbags that deploy like at a perfect impact moment. So it's like this condom that wraps your dick right as it senses, like just
the tingle at the balls with the sperm.
Bro, Elon Musk.
Call Elon. Someone call Elon right fucking now.
This is it.
No, bro, I bet Neuralink's onto this.
That's what I'm saying.
Neuralink, I bet Neuralink has this, like, what's going to happen is we're going to get these little implants in our brain, and there's going to be like, one of the key selling points will be perfect birth control, and it'll just like sense when that dopamine receptor starts tingling and just choop, 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 like a fucking
it doesn't even
transformer.
But like dopamine receptors, what if? Okay.
Dopamine's what goes when.
Yeah. But what if you have like this, the Neuralink implants, right? And then you got this like dick ring that you put on before sex, and then basically before that you have to calibrate it. You like jack off so that the Neuralink.
What about pre-cum?
So the Neuralink gets used to when you get those like pre-cum, full cum, all those like different sensations, and then once you're actually having it's calibrated. Then you just like put up your iPhone. There's an app for that, and then you just like
sensing pre-cum, sensing pre-cum. Press the button, deploy.
No. You just put it into like, I don't know, like sex mode, and then you just put it down. And then you're down for it, man.
It starts playing Drake and everything.
Yeah. It's connected to Spotify and all the speakers around your house and shit. Like
Siri's like eyes off. Bing.
Yeah. Dude, that's gonna be it. Did you see the whole monkey thing with Neuralink? How
they were playing fucking Pong, whatever
like
the fuck
playing that
it is.
video game without actually like having the joystick connected.
Yeah, just with his head. I mean, look, it could have been very easily staged. That's the only. Honestly, that's the one thing that I have with everything that Elon Musk's like done. This is where like, and I've actually Googled this myself when it comes to SpaceX. I want to see the Earth's shape when SpaceX goes up and down.
What do you mean?
Now, every time on the videos, look, flat Earth people would have some sort of argument here on every SpaceX launch video that I've seen. I've looked for it to try and be like, is the Earth actually round? I wanted to see the curvature looking down, and every time that the SpaceX cameras like start getting into like a certain angle, the camera dies, man. Now Dan and I have, Dan from Merlin's, we both watched this launch, and he was like, bro, I'm just trying to watch it to see if like the Earth's actually round or flat. And I looked at him like, dude, I've been watching that for the last like couple launches to try and see the same thing too. But every time a possibly good angle comes through, it cuts out. The fucking camera cuts out and goes all static, man. And then it comes back on, and it's just like facing the Earth with and you know, you can't see any curvature or any flatness. It's just like too small of a surface area to be able to tell. And it's only the ground.
You know that NASA has like a live link satellite that constantly orbits the planet that shows you that it's round, right?
Yeah, but that would be easy to Photoshop or get going on a rotation too.
But what? Exactly, it's the same argument for any other camera footage.
Maybe.
Like, even if you did say have that camera footage of Elon Musk.
If SpaceX's footage just stayed online the entire time, this wouldn't even be a question.
But what if it's just a shit angle and like, why would they show it?
Because it's been streaming the whole time.
The test launches don't even go that high. So they probably don't even bother having that footage connected.
Pretty sure they go like 10 kilometers up in the air.
Yeah, but then they're not
they're like breaking FAA fucking regulation doing it too.
But they're just checking their boosters and like rockets and shit like that. They're not going out of space. You're not going to have like you've been in an airplane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in an airplane, and if you look up,
I'm a globe Earth person, by the way. I've been on cruise ships, airplanes. Like, yeah. I've seen the curvature.
You can see the curvature on the airplane, but even on the airplane, it's super subtle.
And the argument for the airplane. So, like, I obviously like to look at both sides of the argument before coming to a conclusion. And the only time that I've been like even tempted to question the legitimacy of the shape of the Earth is watching SpaceX launches. And I don't even question it. Look, I don't even question it.
Yeah.
But the argument for airplanes is that the curvature in the windows make it like a fisheye lens. No, they are curved. You can see they're bent. Like, you can see the windows.
They're curved this way.
No. They're out that way. They are. They're out that way. They're face out like a little dome. But they could look a fisheye. That wouldn't create the fisheye effect. I have seen a curvature on a cruise ship, like a real raw, like standing at the top of the ship, smoking a joint with one of my boys. This fucking sun goes like the sun isn't coming up in Alaska; it's going around the top of the Earth because like Alaska's like here, and the sun didn't go down. It was like you could see the sun set on this side of the ship, and it was also coming up on this side. You could see the sunset and sunrise, and there was not a bit of darkness. It doesn't get dark. You can see the sun going down and coming up.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Now that's curvature. There's undoubtedly curvature in the Earth, right? I'm not here arguing flat Earth theory or anything.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's giving these motherfuckers ammunition.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's something to base off Elon Musk's test launches of his like rocket ships. I think that's a bit far-fetched. But no, I understand. Like, look, I mean, you have to question things, I suppose.
I had to give my beer some head.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Okay, one sec. So
I actually got it on film.
You can start your OnlyFans now.
All the boys have been asking.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. So, okay, so back to the COVID thing. Before we fucking blasted through this episode. So I was reading the news. There is this place in Mullumbimby, this hairdressing salon, that puts up a notice saying, if you have been vaccinated, we don't want you to come into this place.
Dude, I've seen that shit because they think it sheds the culture.
Yeah.
Dude, I only got enlightened about this
There's a place
week.
in Palm Beach as well that believes that. Yeah. So the place in Palm Beach, the funny thing is that chick that like promotes it is also the chick that in 2019, she got on the news by saying that her menstrual blood, by rubbing it onto her skin, some people say she said on her face, that relieves the period pain. So like...
Sounds normal.
Is it a coincidence that people that believe the COVID vaccine... I mean, people that are anti-vaxxers are also the ones that believe in other crazy shit?
No, it isn't. Definitely isn't. However, I think with like conspiracy theories and stuff, there are a lot of merit to some of them.
Yeah.
And the problem that's happened here is that now the real conspiracy theories are going to be looked at as crazy. And it's just going to be grouped in the same bundle as these nutty motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it completely eliminates any credibility to the government conspiring to do... It's like thinking that a government wouldn't conspire for a greater agenda is ignorant. Like knowing that they wouldn't is ignorant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Knowing that they wouldn't is ignorant. Now, what these fully far out there, can't even say left or right, could say both, but like these out there conspiracy theories are doing now is completely removing any credibility that even 9/11 has.
Well, 9/11 is a tough one though.
Well, they all are.
No. That's an actual like tough one.
No, man. Honestly, every time I've watched a building dude, pull up any video of any building being demolished ever and tell me that it does not like do the exact same.
No,
Dude, the plane hit the top of it and it crumbled down. Like that doesn't that's not scientifically, like physics doesn't agree with that. This isn't how it works.
No, I mean like a tough one. I thought you were heading towards that like most conspiracy theories are too much out there and they're not like true. And then you were saying about 9/11, which I meant that like, 9/11 could be true.
Well, no, this is an example of one that I'm saying is very credible.
Okay.
Now, but all conspiracy theories are going to be grouped into the bucket of conspiracy theories believed by conspiracy theorists now.
Yeah.
So like everything from the first Afghani war till now is now going to be completely wiped off the map of any authenticity. No one.
Yeah. But I think that's it. I think that speaks to the credibility of the person that's like saying them. I think it really depends.
Well, the person that's saying them is a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, but that's when you throw out the baby with the bathwater kind of thing. Like, does this person also have a lot of other crazy, batshit crazy beliefs, or is that just their one conspiracy theory belief and they're like pretty normal? Because if that's the case, then like, okay, I'll entertain it if they're like reasonably minded. But if they have like all these like other things going on, then I'm like, okay, buddy, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like stick to this conversation, you know?
Yeah. Well, but imagine if someone saw 9/11 happen, right? And they were one of the first people to like call out a bunch of inconsistencies there and just see all these like weird problems, and then
I see what you mean.
And then they started not trusting the government after that, and then when the next big thing happened, they were able to find a couple pieces that they could put together.
Yeah.
And now, like, it's all just being grouped into the conspiracy basket. And if there ever was a conspiracy, now all the people that caused the conspiracy have to do is turn around and be like, conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying when I said when anything that's happened since the first Afghan war in the like, what was it, 80s, 90s or something like that? Like, the first time the Twin Towers actually did get bombed. Fuck, do you know about that? They bombed the Twin Towers once before, bro.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Twin Towers have been bombed once before too. They put a bunch of bombs in trucks at the bottom and they blew it up. They blew up the bottom, man, like a proper demolition, and it didn't fall.
Okay, wow.
And then they flew a fucking plane into the top of it and it fell. Yeah, right, cunt. Like, that's not what's
I mean, the foundation was already pretty weak, sounds by the sound of it.
Yeah, well, they rebuilt it pretty heavily after that first terrorist
They should have rebuilt it at the top, because that's where they were attacked next.
Yeah. Right? See what I mean?
Yeah, no. But yeah, I think... Fuck, man. I think conspiracy theories are much like religion or any other ideology.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make up your own mind with that. And like...
Do your own research and...
But even saying that, like... Do your research and then question that research.
Yeah.
Because, if you do your own research online these days...
Fuck. Shit, I even question myself about whether the Earth's round or if that's a construct.
Yeah.
But I question that. I have questioned that. And it's like, every time I've done more research into it, it's like, undeniably we live on a ball.
Yeah. And also there's one thing of like questioning it. And there's another thing of like... being super vocal about that it is one way. Because once you decide it's one way, then you're not questioning anymore. That's when you just fucking get
That's when you're Jesus, Yahweh. One way. One way. Jesus.
I'm gonna get you. No, wow. Okay. That was a Jesus segue. Yeah, but back to the fucking like vaccine thing. So like we make all this fuss about like anti-vaxxers, vaxxers, healthy, non-healthy, diets, exercise, all this crazy shit to live longer, healthier lives, right? There's this guy in India, right? He hasn't showered for 65 years.
Just a guy that smokes cigarettes and looks at Pretty Woman?
No, different guy. So this guy, he does smoke cigarettes, but the cigarettes, he rolls cow shit into the cigarettes and he smokes 6 at a time. And he lives like in this like wasteland in India and he doesn't shower and he's like, literally, his skin looks like scales. Like he's 65, 70 years old. And he stopped showering when he was 4. And he lived up to 65 because he's like, he got traumatized and he's got super germophobic, saying that like if he washes his hands with soap, he's going to get sick. So he's just been like living in dirt.
He got reverse germophobic. Yeah. Holy shit.
So he's been living in dirt for this whole time. And he survived for 65 years. So I don't know, man. Like, obviously, I'm not going to say that all this like anti-vaccine is good, but there is something to the like to genetics, to like genetic predisposition of how we live our lives and like what we consume.
Yeah, and there's also exposing ourselves to things so that we can develop more of a tolerance to it.
Yeah.
It's like that's what the whole kids playing in dirt is all about. Exposing yourself to the diversity of what all the different bacteria and viral loads that our planet has to offer.
Gets used to it.
Gets used to it. You wash your hands, might get a little sniffly. You know, you recover in bed for a couple of days and then your body's stronger.
Yeah, exactly. So, fuck, man. That's, who knows how to live a fucking life, man. I mean...
I know how to live it.
No, but...
as long as I'm feeling good.
I've looked earlier today. I was like, what the fuck is up with crystal healing? Like, where did this start? What the fuck is up?
I'm gonna take a piss.
Oh, okay. Wait. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up.
We're not going into crystal healing tonight. I'm sorry.
All right.
We went a little bit left of wing there, and
big conversation. All right. We'll
just call it a placebo and leave it at that.
That is, good way to summarize it, man. Have a good night, guys.